The Little Red Riding Hood. Once upon a time, there was a sweet little girl who was loved by everyone who knew her. Her grandmother was especially fond of her and made her a Little Red Riding Hood. The girl loved it so much that she wore it all the time, and so she became known as Little Red Riding Hood. One day, Little Red Riding Hood's mother asked her to take a basket of goodies to her grandmother, who lived in a house in the forest. "Remember, honey, stay on the path and don't talk to strangers," her mother warned. Little Red Riding Hood promised to be careful and set off on her journey. As she walked through the forest, she encountered a sly wolf.
"Good morning, Little Red Riding Hood,"
said the wolf.
"Where are you going?"
"I'm going to visit my grandmother, who is ill," replied Little Red Riding Hood. The wolf, being cunning creature he was, hatched a plan.
"Why not pick some flowers for your grandmother? I'm sure she would love that,"
suggested the wolf. Little Red Riding Hood thought this was a good idea and warned of the path to pick flowers. Meanwhile, the wolf hurried to the grandmother's house. He knocked on the door and, disguising his voice, said, "It's me, Little Red Riding Hood." The grandmother, thinking it was her granddaughter, invited the wolf in. The wolf quickly swallowed the grandmother whole, put on her nightgown and cap, and climbed into her bed to wait for Little Red Riding Hood. When Little Red Riding Hood arrived, she noticed that something seems off. "Grandmother, what big eyes you have!" she exclaimed.
"All the better to see you with, my dear,"
said the wolf. "Grandmother, what big ears you have!" she said.
"All the better to hear you with, my dear,"
the wolf replied. "Grandmother, what big teeth you have!" she exclaimed.
"All the better to eat you with!"
roared the wolf as he leaped out of the bed. Just as the wolf was about to pounce on Little Red Riding Hood, a woodcutter who had been passing by the house heard the commotion. He rushed in, and with one swift blow, he killed the wolf and freed the grandmother from the wolf's belly. Little Red Riding Hood learned a valuable lesson that day and promised never to stray from the path or talk to strangers again. The moral of the Little Red Riding Hood is to obey and heed the advice of elders and not to trust strangers. This story teaches the importance of following safety rules and being cautious in unfamiliar situations. Stay safe